Good morning everyone. So today we are going to see the Hindu newspaper analysis based upon what is required for UPSC, okay, for the date 10th March 2026, okay. So good morning everyone in the online as well. So you will get this PDF in your batch group, and for the online students you will get this PDF in the description box, as well as you can scan this QR code to join our Telegram channel and for getting the regular updates, okay. So today we are just brought certain topics, only 3 topics for the day. Mostly, otherwise nothing, mostly relevant to UPSC. For the language, for the approach in your answer papers, I would suggest for Hindu paper. Okay, so there is little balanced approach also will be there. You would be able to identify more of a criticisms and a constructive criticism in Hindu. The language is also good. See, for beginners, Indian Express is very good. अगर आपके पास time है तो just go for both the papers, but Hindus majorly it have been prescribed, so that is the one. Okay, for beginners, if you are having any issues in reading or understanding the Hindus language, then that time you can go for Indian Express. That will be very simple in language. Okay, otherwise news are same everywhere, only the editorial part and the opinion part will be different. Okay, na? Okay, so we are starting with the first article. First one is bitter milk. So in Andhra Pradesh we had casualties, around 11 people have died because of the content in the milk. Okay, that we will be seeing where it has been used, those components, and why it has been happened here. Okay, so who is the responsibility for this? Because it is not a small number, 11 people have died, right? So it is a loss of life. Somewhere or the other the governance gap is there. So somebody, the regulator body is not working properly, right? So all these things we have to look into it. So in this case we are just going to see in 2-3 perspective, because the component that have been involved in this. Good morning Abhi, good morning Hussain, and good morning everybody. Okay, so the based on the component it will be important for us in the GS3 paper, science and tech, right, and also in the GS2 paper for the regulations and everything, rules, regulations, and the body that has been taking the responsibilities. Apart from that, the ethical, the business ethical component is also important. So it will affect in certain places. Okay, in essay also you can expect a question regarding this, because the contaminated food or the component, the chemical component that is affecting the food products, the adulteration, it is not new in India, right? Even in the cough syrups and even in the food, everything, the dyes are being used in the food articles, right? The expired foods, everything. So now we are going to see how ethical our companies are. So in that purpose, ethics paper also, GS4 also will be having a touch, and also we can expect a essay paper also based on the governance, the overall regulation. Okay, so in this case we are going to see it. And the second one is about the Iran war. This editorial is basically about how Iran's what was the balance that was earlier, and now because of this war, if Iran falls, what would be the geopolitical balance that will be the globe acquiring, and how it is going to difficult for India, like when there is a imbalance or if there is any alliance based geopolitics, how it is going to impact for India. So that is what we are going to see today in this. So in the IR perspective, GS2, foreign policy also will come inside, like because the regime change, the interest of India changes based upon the geopolitical trends. Okay, and the third one is about the G securities, which is government securities. Generally this is okay, that is right, but when it comes to this article, it is particularly talking about only the IR perspective, the geopolitical perspective. The impacts will be definitely coming in the GS3 paper, like जैसे आपने बोला था the economical conditions after this regime change and everything, energy security, oil prices hikes, because of that our inflation will go high, right? So all these things are something or the other, it is impacting in GS3 paper, which is economy. But this article is talking about the most of a GS2 perspective. Okay? And the G security is basically on certain things where the RBI using a mechanism to control or maintain the stability of cash flow in the market. So if there is a lot of high amount as like high liquidity in the market, it will be, that is also not feasible, and the lower liquidity also will not be feasible. So at times RBI will be making regulations so that we would be able to maintain the proper cash flow and the money supply in market, where we will not be facing the money depreciation, the value of money will not go down, okay, and apart from that we will be seeing like where we can curtail the money supply. So that is what we are going to see for in this perspective. So it is important for us in GS3 paper economy. Clear? So shall we move for the topics? The first one is bitter milk. Okay, just go through it. This article is talking about the casualties and what is the reason, what is the, like in the initial inferences what we have got it. Okay, but in UPSC perspective there are three things important for us. One is what is the component that have been made this casualties. First thing, you can forget this place and everything. Place is not important here. Okay, this is just for your information. Place is not important here. We need the exact component that caused this. So is it ethical? Sometimes certain components that will be used in these food products to maintain the shelf life. You all know what is shelf life? Good morning. So shelf life is nothing but the product will not be get expired very soon. Okay, Ji? Yes, durability. Okay. So to increase that we will be adding some components. So we have to see the nature of the component, like whether it is necessary for the product to have it. Sometimes the excessive amount of usage of any other component will be also leading to certain things. See, but when come to this article, this is not at all necessary to add in the milk. Okay, there is no requirement for this component to present in that milk, but this have been added. Okay, so we are going to see one by one. So in Andhra Pradesh 11 people passed away because of the milk they consumed. The major cause here is they are supplying around 11 years. This company is supplying milk for 11 years and they don't possess license. So this is a major thing. So a locality, it is having a milk supply, because milk is a FMGC group good, right? It is very important. Like be it any people, like vitamin, now if you see vitamin D deficiency, everybody, like from small kid to elderly people, everybody consume milk, right? Most of the people. So it is one of a crucial commodity in India. Okay. So when we see there is no proper license for that product, and if it is affecting the people's health, so who will be taking the responsibility? Obviously the government. So we are able to see here there is a government policy problem. Why it is? Who will be providing the license? Obviously government will be providing the license, FSSAI, right? But the problem here is it is a small component. In that area it is operating for 11 years. There is no proper monitoring on that. There is lack of tracking also. So that is why the unlicensed companies also working on, and it have been caused this today. Okay? So this is the crux of it. So the contamination and the usage of ethylene glycol. Okay? So this ethylene glycol majorly used in certain industries like plastics and the hydraulic brakes. For that, to as a grease they will be used, okay, to loosen the hydraulic brakes, and also in the areas like ballpoint pens, stamp padding, in these areas it will be used. But here in this milk it have been used as a sweetener, so it will increase the sweetness in the milk. Okay, so that is what their major concern to add this. But the problem was arise like we cannot identify very easily. It is colorless. The properties, if we see, it is very colorless, odorless. We cannot get any smell or something. Okay, so this is a major concern unless and until the laboratories are being checked. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, there was I got some noises in between, so that's why. Okay, so now the audio is clear, right? No issues. Okay, so here the ethynyl glycol has a properties of, like, we can identify very easily through laboratory properties only. We would be able to identify it. So after the casualties only we are able to see, like, there is a component like this in the milk, and also there is a lot of governance gap also. Okay, so that is what important from this article. And when we talk about this, what kind of a compound it is a toxic alcohol based component. Okay, and it is used in automotive, antifreeze, brakes, ballpoint pens, stamp pad ink, and also the plastics, and also polyester fibers also, in the synthetic fibers also they used to have this. Okay, so the properties also I have given. It is used for the inducing the sweet, the colorless, and the odorless component. Okay, so the cruciality of this, because not everything will be causing a serious issue. Okay, but when it comes to this component, it will be affecting your liver, it will be affecting your respiratory system, even worse it will be causing the neural damage also. Okay, apart from that, it will be life threatening, like we will be having loss of life also. So that is what happened here. So FSSAI is supposed to give the license for every product, FMGC product and all edible products, right? So here it is the responsibility of FSSAI. Okay, it is a statutory body. What is statutory body? Okay, so which have been constituted with the act or a law. Okay, so that is why. So for food safety and standards, we have started this in 2006. Okay, they are the licensing authority, and this company didn't come under FSSAI radar. So now everything will be from grassroots level, we will be identifying it. Okay, so it is important for us to maintain the track record, and whenever there is a new product is coming up, or if there is there should be continuous audit. We have to understand, like, what the product is flowing in the market and what our people is consuming. Okay, this is the first thing. So from this article, it is this much only. Just have a read about it, and if there is any other doubt, we will discuss later. Okay, clear till now? Any doubt? Okay. Moving on to the next one, the Iran war intensifies India's strategic challenge. So give me your inferences. What is the major strategic challenge that we will be having because of Iran war? Anything like oil impact, take it. Other than that, already our union budget is giving a enough defense amount, right? So okay, we have to strengthen our defense. Apart from that, more specific if you could. Very good. So the major concern here, these two are internal things to secure our energy security. Okay, we will be considering the oil prices and everything. When it comes to the defense, it is a defensive mechanism where other West Asian countries attacking each other will impact India also. Just like, see, if right now US, Israel and Iran, only these three parties are there. Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, all these people are keeping quiet right now. But there may be escalation when there is any part of these missiles or anything hit any other country, right? So at that time, what will be the major issue? Pakistan also may come in to support Iran, China may also come in, Russia may also come in. So within these localities, if you see India, it used to be with the landlocked areas on the upper side, right? So the western disturbances and the security crisis there, the peace and the harmony which is not been stable there, that will impacting India also. So we may get attacked by Pakistan or any other country, because right now we have to see, we cannot go with Israel, US also, we cannot go with Iran completely, right? We have to take a stabilized path right now, right? Because holistic defense approach like pestle, right? Okay. So when we look into the middle path or the balanced path, Iran is also important for us, US and Israel is also important for us. Taking one side will be affecting other way, because right now we are diversifying our oil, energy and everything from US, Russia, everything. But the major concern is the interest of India. We have contributed to build Chabahar port in Iran, right? So it is not only a infrastructure to show people that we have good infrastructure policies and everything. It is not stopping there. It is even going forward to combat Pakistan and China, right? We can bypass those areas and we can get a market access. So the balance in those areas is very important for us to have the strategic autonomy. What is strategic autonomy here? Strategic autonomy is like nobody can come and commend me. My national interest will be coming first. I will be working on what is the interest on India. If I want to build a Chabahar port, I will be doing it. India will be doing it. US cannot come and tell me like you are not supposed to build it. That is a strategic autonomy. National interest should be taken in the first place. Okay? Nobody can come and comment us. Okay? So that is the thing. So here the strategic challenge is about having India's interest, about the strategic autonomy majorly, which Komal told us. Okay? Clear till now? Is there any doubt? Okay, so this article basically talking about certain things, the ongoing conflict of Iran. So we know that it is the first spark was about the nuclear program that have been proposed in Iran. But within the dialogues itself, there was a war have been exploded, because it is not only the nuclear program, it is beyond that, the regime change. If you see in the West Asia, most of the countries are US backed. Okay, they have a good relation with US. When it comes to Iran, Iran have supported certain groups, non-state groups. You might have known what is non-state groups, right? Not a like proper government, it is not this. Okay? Like Houthi, Hamas and Hezbollah. So these, okay, Hezbollah. So these groups are having a great influence with Iran. So that will have become a threat to Israel. Okay, so this is because they are not a proper state, right? So non-state actors will be sometimes may change into a huge threat, like it may change into terrorism or something. So that was a major issue here. So the regime change, because if there is any regime change in Iran, the earlier regime was against US and Israel, they have separate path, but that is a threat to Israel, right? So when there is a regime change, when there is a government change which is favorable to, US and also the Israel, there will be a smooth conduction. Israel also will be having a smooth neighborhood. Okay? The two things is, one is smooth neighborhood and second thing is about the global power dominance. Israel will be a global power dominance because they have a fantastic missile and defense system. So that is unimaginable, which will be making it more powerful. More the war, more the defense business will be happening in the world. Okay? So that is what the thing. Higher the power, higher the peace I can restore, and higher the dominance I have. Okay? That is what the major issue why Iran is being targeted by Israel and US. Okay? Beyond nuclear power, this is the background that is having. So they have started war to change the regime, and now the regime is the ultimate superior have been killed. Okay, now there is a war going on. Eventually the new government will be settling down. So it may be favor to US or Israel. After some point of time only we would be able to see. So this conflict, he is saying that the author is saying that it is reshaping the geopolitical balance in West Asia, where Iran was the only place against Israel and US which is having a regional dominance there. Okay, but now when there is imbalance, when there is a government change or regime change which is favoring US or Israel, the West Asia completely will be of whose side? The US side. Okay, it will become a block. So if you see in that case, West Asia completely will be okay, I think it will be visible here. I'm just drawing into a small. Okay, so if you see the globe, the West Asia will be here, America. Okay, here if you see Russia, Europe and India, China, we will be here. So if you see the countries like Russia, China, India, we have a very good relation with Russia. be it China, be it India, it will be having. And when it comes to the Southeast Asia countries, we have a good relation with them also, right? The only problem here is China. They are little showing their dominance, right? But eventually that will also be coming into the settle down. Okay? So this is a Russian bloc we could see, and here if we see, most of the areas are US favorable countries. America, we know the Venezuela and South America, mostly of like they are not that prominent and dominant. Only North America is being dominant, and Canada also. When it comes to Canada, Canada is having good technologies and everything, but defense system, the major economy is North America only. So the United States of America. So that is the major issue. Apart from that, South America cannot contribute much. Okay, and other than this, everything is about the two blocks. So this is kind of an American bloc, and this is kind of a Russian bloc. Again, it will be coming back to Alliance 2 bloc system, but we are trying to bring it to multipolar, where the cooperated existence will be there rather than the dominance or any other block related. Okay? So if there is any imbalance in this area, this will be affecting in what? Reshaping the geopolitical balance in West Asia. Okay? First thing. And the cost, though, we know what is the exact cost, not only the nuclear power, more than that it is. Okay? Then comes to the Iran's influence that we have talked. Why Israel is having an issue with Iran's influence? Because they have influence with these non-state reactors, right? Okay. Moving on. So now coming to the crux of it, the strategic objectives of this is, the war is limiting Iran's regional influence, which we talked, that is the only power against Israel and US. Okay, first thing. And second thing is about changing regional power balance, where we will be having a favorable condition for US and Israel. Third one is about protecting security interest. Here is the major concern. When it comes to Israel's defense system, US defense system, here they will be getting the market also, right? They will be getting the major security interest, where the Strait of Hormuz will be also there, right? So the major benefits will be going economically, okay, because global's major oil security, where it is happening in the Strait of Hormuz, right? So economically it is very important for those area. And second thing, the dominance there. Okay, so it is a open area, like that is the only shortest and open area where the western countries can approach the eastern side, right? So the dominance there will be giving a huge strategic advancement to them. See, if I have a shorter distance, I don't have to work on more oil. Okay, I can secure the energy, right? My currency will be going down. When US is being present in that area, if that controls the trade in that area, again it will be benefiting US, it will be giving more markets to US, more economy to US. So that is the major thing here. Clear till now? And we are just going to see how it is affecting India. Okay? So other risk of these risks can extend more of this war. Okay? So we can expect more Iran is a piece of it's like Iraq. Yes, Hussein, obviously they wanted to stabilize Iran also, like Iraq, what they have did earlier. They will be coming and saying that we are just going to stabilize the area, then they will be collapse the internal governance and they will be flew away. This is what happening. This is not the first time for US to do this. This is their chain continuous thing. Okay. So what are all the other areas which will be inducing the war more? First thing is about attacks on the energy infrastructure, where the nuclear reactors have been attacked right now. First one, the disruption of the disturbances in the global energy supply, Strait of Hormuz. So the Strait of Hormuz have been closed. It is not only affecting Iran's economy, it is affecting the other economy, which is in India's also. Okay, yes. So which is which may impact in our LPG rise, and also the oil prices, right? Okay. Then third one is global power competition, where we talked about the dominance and the block system, right? US versus China. This is a major issue. If US is coming to stand with Israel, China eventually will come to combat US through supporting Iran. So this will be again a war situation, because those two countries like US and China, they are not just two bigger economy, they have a very good military and also the defense system. So there will be proxy war majorly. China will be approaching Pakistan, promising like, I'll do this, I'll do that for you. Eventually Pakistan, what will be doing? We are getting more benefits from US, so Pakistan will be like, okay, I'll go and hit India. If there is no time pass, I'll hit India. That is what their concern, right? So proxy war will be the major concern. So somewhere or the other, just because we are going in that way, just because we are present in that way, people will come and hit us. So that is the major concern here. So US and China, if they involve it directly, that will be going to hit in a very major way. When it comes to Russia, it will be benefiting Russia in certain things. Russian oil will be having the demand in the market, so they will be getting a market and also economy. When it comes to the US distraction here, in China also, when it comes to Taiwan, right now US is playing a major role in China-Taiwan problem. When there is extended war, US direction will be to the recent one, which is Iran. So there will be distraction in China-Taiwan war also, the conflict also. Here when it comes to Ukraine and Russian things, because Ukraine has been backed by US only and NATO. So here the US distraction from this will be benefiting Russia to walk more towards the Ukraine part. Okay, so this is a major concern here. So the strategic concern that have to be taken into the consideration is, one is energy security, major oil and energy security is from there. Second thing, Indian diaspora, major like if you see the Gulf countries and the West Asian countries, people move for certain like the plumbing works, the teachers, okay, the nurses. So these people are moving more, engineers, these people are moving towards more of Western Asian countries because they have a good opportunity there. Okay, so the Indian diaspora living there having a problem because they will lose all those things there. So that is a major thing. And the strategic balance, where we cannot always rely upon US, we should need other independent powers also, independent states also, that will be having a different and multiple common collective interest should be there. Instead of dumping one particular country's idea, there should be collective ideologies. Okay, and other than that, there will be a policy challenge. First thing is about comprehensive regional strategy, which is border regional approach, where we are closely related with Israel, Iran and everything, right? So the border management will be a major issue here. Again, it comes to Strait of Hormuz. First thing, security dynamics. Any instability in this area that may give a threat to Indo-Pacific and also Indian Ocean region, then China will be more active in Indian Ocean region, so that is also a major concern here. Then the energy routes, Strait of Hormuz, political alliances, which we talked about, the two block system. Okay, so either we will be forced to be in either US side. Mostly if it comes to India, we will be moving towards to US side. We have no other opportunity. To a certain extent we can maintain that we will be stable and we will be in the middle path, but after a point, because of sanctions, tariffs and the market that we have in US, obviously we have to be little biased with US. So this is the major thing here. Okay, then the regional power changes increase the other regional powers. So this will trigger, so if Iran fall, this may trigger Turkey, okay, Pakistan and other countries to show their, even Taliban's may be little aggressive at that time to maintain their dominance there. So it will be always like a power conflict. For dominance and power, there will be unrest global wise. Okay, this is the major issue here. So in this case, we have to see certain things, not only the energy security, more of strategic autonomy here. Keyword here is strategic autonomy for India. Okay, so how far we are powerful and how far we are standing with our principle, it is very important. To an extent, we have to try not to join any blocks. That is a major thing. Okay? Clear? Shall we move to the next one, the last one for the day? Okay. So the government securities. Government securities, can anybody say what is government securities? Generally. Maybe a guesswork also will work. Hanji. ठीक है, good. Subsidies? Not really, not directly to it. Any other guess? That is somewhere or the other nearby. Okay? So government securities are a document where it is a bond. Okay? Like you know bond paper, when you buy any property or there will be a bond paper, right? So that is kind of a legal bond paper only. The government will be having the securities, okay, the bond basically. So whenever the government needs any money, like instead of going to other countries, first it will be going to RBI. Commercial bank के बाद ये RBI के पास जाएंगे, like the public sector companies and everybody. I'll be going and I'll be asking, I need some money. So as a promissory note, as a collateral, I'm giving the government securities to you and please give me the money back. So once the money is being paid or something, they can get back the government securities also. I'm not going into the two technicalities, but I'm just giving inferences here, okay? Because it is mandatory for the banks to have these government bonds, securities, gold reserves and the cash reserves also. It is mandatory for every bank to have all these things, okay? So what the government will be doing, if there is any need, they will be going to RBI and they will be getting the money. But when it comes to RBI side, the government securities are they will be buying and selling for two purposes, okay? Major thing is about maintaining the liquidity. Liquidity is cash flow in the market, okay? So if there is any inflation, higher inflation, what I will be doing, I will be cutting down the what? The money supply. Sorry, I will be increasing the money supply, okay? So that is a major thing here. So for by buying this government securities, what RBI will be doing? RBI will be getting government securities from the government and they will be giving out the cash. So there will be lot of cash flow in the market, right? Hanji. And when it comes to selling the government securities, government will be selling it and it will be taking back the money, because the liquidity in the market, if it is high, it is not going to favor the country. So they will be getting it back by purchasing the government securities. It is just a bond. They will, as a promissory note, they will be taking it. That is what from this. Okay. So here right now in the recent days, the rupee have fallen to, after the Iran war, it is like 92.36 paisa. Okay. So 1 rupee is $1 is equal to 92.36. So to reduce it, the oil prices are also hiking, right? So for this, what we have to do, we have to stabilize the economy. There should be a proper cash flow, right? So for this, government is right now buying the securities and they will be giving the cash flow in the market. Clear till now? Any doubt? So here there is certain securities, there will be different terminologies. One is you can see as a treasury bill, okay, and one is government securities. If any collateral or the bond has been given for less than 1 year or equivalent to 1 year, that will be like within 1 year I will be taking it and I will be paying you back. So if this is less than, if it is less, the bonds or bills, if it is less than 1 year, then it is called treasury bills, which is T-bills, okay. If it is more than, like more than a year, if it is more than a year, then it is called security bonds and the government securities, okay. Majorly here you have to understand one thing is like, we are just going to stabilize the money supply in market. If there is higher money there, I'll be selling my RBI will be selling its government securities and taking the money back from the economy. First thing. Second inference is, if there is very less cash flow in the economy, RBI will be buying those government securities and will be giving the cash in the market. Okay? So this is called open market operation. So this is one of a terminology in UPSC. Okay? So open market operations are this one of a mechanism to stabilize the economy's liquidity. Okay? So that is what you have to see in this. To maintain the liquidity in economy, RBI uses GSEC. Okay? So other than that, other than this government securities, what and all can be used if you see in market, it can increase the repo rate, the interest rate, okay, the cash reserve policy, and also the gold reserve. So all security reserves. I told you, right? Like every bank has to have certain amount of gold, certain amount of value of government securities, and also cash also. Okay? So for that, if they wanted to reduce the money supply, they will be increasing the rate. So the availability of money will be going down. Okay? Clear till now? So this is what important for us. Just have a look about it, and please do homework about this open market operations. Okay? If there is any doubt, please let me know. Otherwise, we will wind up for the day. Okay? Anything else you guys like to tell, or anything else that we could discuss? I hope it is clear for the online students as well, and if you have any doubt, please let me know right now. Otherwise, we will wind up for the session. Okay? Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much for joining the session. Okay? Thank you.